Hi guys, Roxana from the blog acquaintlife.com, and today we're doing a what we eat in a week video with 5 easy lunches. For the first recipe, we're going to be doing a creamy tomato pesto soup, and we're going to be using fresh tomatoes for this one. So I'm just going to chop them up and salt them, put a little bit of oil, and pop them into the oven. It's been about 25 minutes. I'm going to get them into a soup pot and begin smashing them down as they heat. For this, you can use a potato masher, or you can use a hand blender like I'm using here. Today I've decided to use the hand blender. I want it to be a little bit more smooth and creamy, but it still comes out great if you use a potato masher, so either way it works great. This recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of flour. Sometimes I put the flour on top of the tomatoes directly and then smash them down, but it doesn't really matter. It's just to help thicken the soup once I put the cream inside. Over medium heat, I'm going to start adding my 3 cups of cream slowly. Now that the milk's in there, I'm going to go ahead and give it another little bit of a blend and get the pesto in there, and then I want to add a little bit more salt. This recipe calls for 1.5 teaspoons of salt, but it just depends how salty you like it. I find that when you use fresh tomatoes, you definitely need to add a lot of salt, so just make sure that you taste and add accordingly. Next up, I'm making chicken and grilled onion taquitos, straight from the blog. I will leave a link for this one below. We're going to start with a couple of tablespoons of coconut oil. We're going to heat them up and get those onions caramelizing. I've added a couple tablespoons of sugar as well, and salt and pepper. Separate pan, we have our chicken grilling up with garlic, cumin, salt and pepper in coconut oil as well. We're going to cook both of these alongside each other and wait till that chicken browns like it is. Then I'm going to take it from the skillet and I'm going to chop it up finely and then put it back in the pan to mix it around with its pan juices so that it stays moist. Now it's time to assemble our taquitos. We're going to start with some chicken there in the center. I'm going to put a little bit of grilled onion and cheese, and then I'm going to wrap it with bending in both sides so that nothing falls out, and I'm going to wrap them just like you would a burrito and set them aside. I'm going to put the flap side down when frying. I have my pan nice and hot and ready for the taquitos. I'm just going to brown them up and get them nice and crisp all the way around. Since I made them so big today, I'm just going to serve them with a side of salsa and some avocado. Now on this day, I'm keeping it really simple with croissant sandwiches. I'm just going to cut some cucumber up. I have some cream cheese that's defrosted from the freezer. It is a little crumbly, but it still works fine. And I'm gonna cut open this croissant, put some cream cheese, put a little cucumber on there, and some deli sliced ham. with some sliced peaches and some carrot sticks. Today we're having a vegetarian taco salad. I went ahead and started some beans on the stove, just a can of beans with some cumin, garlic, salt, and pepper. Let that cook down a bit, and it gives the beans a great flavor. I'm just gonna stack some chips, some beans, some salad mix. I have some fermented yogurt here, and I have some salsa and olives to go along with it. Today I am making my simple spinach farmhouse frittata for lunch. We're going to start by cutting up these potatoes. This recipe calls for 3 potatoes and a cup of onion. I'm going to heat 1/3 of a cup of coconut oil into a cast iron skillet. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add our potatoes and cook for about 10 minutes. While they cook, I'm going to make up the egg batter, and it's going to be 8 eggs for this, a tablespoon of chives, and 2/3 cup of milk. Now that the potatoes are cooked, I'm going to go ahead and add the onions. Potatoes crisp and the onions cook all the way. I find this takes anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes depending on how hot you have your heat up. Now I'm going to add 3 cups of fresh spinach and 2 garlic cloves that I minced up. Let those cook up for just a few minutes. Off and pour your egg batter over. On top of this, I'm going to sprinkle 2 cups of Monterey Jack cheese, or you can use any white cheese that you like. And then I'm going to pop it into the oven for approximately 10 to 12 minutes at 425 degrees. And this is basically a full meal on its own, so I just serve this with a side of salsa. Well, that is it, guys, and thank you so much for watching. I hope these recipes inspire you in your kitchen. Go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe button as well. Every single week I make new content with from scratch recipes, natural home remedies, and garden growing. Thanks again for watching.